Today on Local Connection, we're here in Stanley Park, Vancouver's crown jewel.
Join us as we discover why TripAdvisor recently named it World's Best City Park. On today's show,
it's coming from a different part of the brain that actually makes it a little bit easier.
The powerful health benefits of music therapy.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Good job!
Also, do you have a sophisticated sweet tooth? Come with us as we explore Cartems Gourmet Donuterie.
And we meet up with Vancouver actor Aliyah O'Brien.
When I repopulate my species, I plan to do much better than a mixed blood mongrel.
See all this and more right now on Local Connection. Welcome to Local Connection, a show about the people and the places that make the Lower Mainland great. I'm Sarah Hudson.
And I'm Amber Orchard. We're here today in Stanley Park, recently named on TripAdvisor as World's Best City Park, and I can see why. We've got a seawall,
We've got the ocean that surrounds the park,
we've got playgrounds,
we've got a miniature train,
an aquarium,
totem poles. We could go on, but we'll run out of time, and we've got an incredible show lined up for you today.
Next up, we have reporter Sonja Grgar introducing us to Beautiful World Foundation, which talks to us about the hidden attributes in third world countries.
In a world where the mainstream media are saturated with reports of war and disaster, stories about all the positive developments around the world are few and far in between. And that is exactly what the Beautiful World Foundation is trying to change. The nonprofit startup plans to travel to countries that are facing economic and social challenges and create documentaries that highlight all the facets of life that never make the media spotlight.
The Beautiful World Foundation's goal is to educate and be educated, and to explore, to inspire and be inspired. So what the team wants to do is focus on one area, right now it's Sierra Leone, and go there and find people, one person, a family, whoever it may be, and share their story, and really put an emphasis on promoting positivity and beauty in the world. We define beauty and positivity through people that have made it through adversity and been very happy with what little they have and still find opportunities to give. And it's not to say that we're going to go right into the center of destruction and devastation in various parts of the world and try and find happy stories. It's just that we're going to go to places where people are living in very difficult times and are still finding so much happiness and beauty and positivity in their life. The way I got involved with the Beautiful World Foundation was through Lanny, who I met on a European summer study program through my school in Europe. And she had gone and done a volunteer trip in Kenya with Gary Carr, and this Beautiful World Foundation is essentially his brainchild. And so the two of them were really impacted and motivated by their trip and wanted to start something of their own.
Since I was very young, I've always been interested in really two things, which is entertainment or being creative and helping people. And BWF is the perfect mix of the two. You know, it allows me to be creative as well as helping people. Film is a massive passion of mine. We're using film as a media or as a platform to get ourselves out there to the world and get people involved.
Trying to start a not-for-profit from the startup is hard for anyone, but to do it with people who are based in various corners of the world is quite a challenge, but we're all clearly dedicated and motivated and have one vision. Our trip to London, when we all met for the first time in person, really reignited a flame within all of us. It was such a productive trip because we were able to sit face to face and not only get to know each other and have an even deeper connection to the team, but really hash out what this foundation is and what we want it to be and how we're going to get there.
Our pull and our edge is that we want to educate people and our audiences, not go to places and educate people that we visit. We want to learn from the people we visit, you know, educate ourselves to educate people of a wider audience of places back home where we live.
We wouldn't go somewhere where we have no idea what the culture is like, what the people are like, so we're really starting with areas that certain members of our team already know.
To explore, to educate, and to be educated.
To inspire.
And to be inspired.
To make a difference in a positive, structured, scientific way.
Our goal right now is to go to Sierra Leone, find a story, get the resources we need to create a beautiful documentary and make it go viral. On a longer term scale, we do hope to encourage other people to come on these trips with us, mobilize some sort of social change where we're encouraging communities to be self-sustaining and help them get there through the means that they're already using. If you have one vision and you're really motivated and inspired to take on the same end goal, and no matter what it takes to get there, you can achieve anything.
For more information on the Beautiful World Foundation, visit the website below. For Local Connection, I'm Sonja Grgar.
Thanks, Sonja. It's nice to hear about something positive in the world.
You know, something we don't hear about usually is the everyday challenges that people with severe allergies face.
That's right. Up next, we have Tammy-Lynn McNabb interviewing parents with highly allergic children. Her story brings attention to this very important issue.
Seeing all the other kids have something yummy to eat at lunch, and I can't eat it.
Food is part of our social fabric, and it is integral to any celebration or gathering. It is also supposed to nurture and sustain us. For those reasons, it's always around our children.
There is the other side of allergies where children, or adults as well, go into anaphylactic shock. Explain to us what that means.
So yeah, anaphylactic shock is the most severe form of allergy, and it affects more and more and more people, especially children. And we're really seeing a rise in this. And what happens is the immune system, when it gets exposed to certain things that are seemingly harmless in most people, in the case of anaphylactic, the person gets exposed to the allergen, the immune system launches this huge attack against that food allergen or environmental allergen or even something like latex. And a huge amount of histamine is produced in the body, and then you'll get the anaphylactic reaction.
For an anaphylactic parent, it takes planning and foresight to attend any social function. The Metro Vancouver Anaphylactic Group is a volunteer parent-run group of individuals and families affected by life-threatening allergies.
It's very challenging because it is an invisible health condition, so people would look at my daughter and think she's healthy and happy, and I mean she is primarily, but there's always that undercurrent of the worst case scenario and what could happen if she came in contact with her allergens. At school, she's surrounded by dairy every day. It's never going to be banned from the schools, and so I have to live always with that risk that I'm sending her out the door in the morning and I'm trusting other people to make timely, smart decisions with her health. It's this chronic, under the surface layer of stress that I carry always when she's not in my care, and it can be overwhelming.
What's your one biggest wish about all of your allergies?
I want to get rid of dairy.
It can also be exhausting to continuously educate others about allergies and the seriousness of accidental ingestion.
I go in at the beginning of the year and I actually teach the kids in the class about my daughter's allergens, and I read a story that's age appropriate, things like that. And I find that the kids are so empathetic and they want to protect their friends, and they'll say, "Oh, Mommy, I don't want to pack cheese sticks today because I want to sit next to Caitlin." So I hear those types of stories.
Anaphylaxis can affect social relationships with friends and family, as accommodating these children can seem onerous to others.
We're starting to see more of the challenges now that she is getting a bit older, sleepovers, more independence. I hope that she can always remember to ask questions, read labels, speak, not feel intimidated. She's going to have to be very independent and manage herself. So I hope I'm giving her the tools to open up and ask questions.
And if somebody offers you something at school, what do you do? Do you say thanks? Do you take it? What do you do?
I say no thank you and say that I probably can't have it in case you never know.
So better to be safe then?
Sorry.
You know that a significant number of people are affected by something when the amount of products in a supermarket continues to grow.
This section of our store is dedicated exclusively to people with gluten-free allergies. We're finding that we have a large amount of people coming in nowadays that are celiac, that have a lot of food problems that they just can't find anywhere else.
Well, thank you to the Government of Canada for passing Anaphylaxis Motion 230 last spring, 2013. Promises more attention to the epidemic of anaphylaxis, more research on prevention, meaning hopefully we can prevent food anaphylaxis in the subsequent generations, and also more money and policy to improve the quality of life for these kids.
As one mother put it simply, I grieve about the childhood I thought she would have and worry about the future that she will not.
Obviously, I wish I had a magic wand and I could take the allergies away. It's crazy as a parent to think that the line between life and death for your child could be a bite of a cookie. It's affected how I show affection to her too. Like, I can't really kiss her on the cheek if I've eaten something in the last few hours, because I've noticed she'll get a hive.
Do I get a high five?
At the end of the day, anaphylactic kids just want to be like every other kid, and it's up to adults to create a world where that's possible.
I really like chips, and it just would be nice if I could just buy some chips or something like that. Not really like I really like them.
For Local Connection, I'm Tammy-Lynn McNabb.
Thanks, Tammy-Lynn. That was very informative.
I know I sure learned a lot, Sarah. Now, here we are at Stanley Park's second beach. Sun's out, beach blankets are here. I know some of my favorite summer memories started just like this.
Same with me. And then I got pregnant. Twice.
Next up, reporter Jeremy Cowie talks to us about the healing benefits of music for the mind, body, and soul.
There was a little champagne, an iPod full of Barry White. Who knew Barry White could be so life-changing?
Music is a story we've come to remember and will carry on for generations to come. For years, music's been used therapeutically, where it's underneath the tune where healing begins.
Music therapy is a professional healthcare practice. We're an accredited music therapist who has a minimum of a bachelor's degree in music therapy, plus 1,000 hours of clinical internship. Works with their patients or their clients, working towards non-musical goals but using music interventions. What we're doing is we work together to build goals that are non-musical, but we use musical skills to achieve those goals, and that can fall under the domains of emotional, cognitive, physical, and spiritual, just to name a few. Squat, squat, stand.
Gemma runs the music therapy program at Vancouver General Hospital in the Burns Plastic and Trauma Unit. Using rhythm, song, and dance, music becomes a form of pain management, which can help speed up the healing process.
In the hospital setting, it's a high turnover rate, so I can have someone from 1 day to 3 months. So it's really working with that client and finding out what their goals are, and then I'll assess what they need, put together the plan, and then often what it looks like is me sitting bedside with them with my guitar and my box of small percussive instruments, and beginning from that point and using a big set of tools of music therapy interventions that's going to work for their recovery.
It takes 5 parts of the brain to properly process music. Like any muscle, constant exercise can strengthen its operation, even the ability to learn to speak again after serious brain injuries.
I'm looking at can the person communicate? Can they receive information? So if you say something and they don't understand you, then there's a way to try and work on that with music. And then can they express themselves? So if that's that you can't speak, then I'm going to work on music. So if I say, happy birthday to, you just want to say you. So I use that momentum to try and help them with their speech. And I've learned some little tricks from the speech and language pathologist. So for instance, when I'm going like this is to actually stimulate an H sound. And then I'm modeling the L sound, so the L with where the tongue goes, because that can be really hard for some people to actually coordinate the movements in their mouth to actually make a sound. When you think about eating and speaking, the tongue is actually a muscle, and when you are injured, things can get mixed up. You can't coordinate things. So it's really hard, and the music is coming from a different part of the brain. It actually makes it a little bit easier. So the idea is to use that and then have that kind of transfer into more functional speech.
Music programs in geriatric facilities have seen massive success in helping residents to be more social, regain muscle coordination, and to just stay active.
In an institution, you're often isolated from your family, so you don't get a whole lot of social contact with your loved ones. So music therapy helps with that. It also helps with providing a really positive outlet for your feelings. It also gives you the opportunity to get some exercise. You move to the music, you move rhythmically, you're following directions, you're doing sequencing, auditory sequencing and movement sequencing. So that all helps to just keep your brain healthy.
Even though therapists are using music for cognitive growth, most times it can be so fun, you forget it's therapy.
You know, in this lesson center environment, on the outside it looks very much like the student is coming for a music lesson with the teacher. However, I think because we're working in a therapeutic capacity, there's a certain form of flexibility that comes with that.
1, 2, 3, 4. Good job. Okay, let's count while we play, okay?
So the client and therapist are engaging in a very relaxed manner. There's a clear understanding of boundaries, and there's also real openness. I think people around here really enjoy coming for their lesson because they do feel a real sense of competence, being able to participate in something like a recital or to share a song with their family members, maybe that they've written in session.
Hello, hello, hello. Everybody says hello.
And there's something about working with kids, you know, seeing them grow both in musical and non-musical capacities at the same time is so encouraging, that they're learning to play an instrument and they're also growing as a person. There's something that is just really, really inspiring about that.
Yay! Good job, you guys.
Thanks, Jeremy. That was an incredible story.
Stay tuned. Up next, we have dignified, delicious donuts.
Dignified donuts?
It's an alliteration. The actual word should have been gourmet.
Well, it could have been like gourmet gobs of gooey goodness.
Groovy.
After the break, we meet up with Vancouver actor Aliyah O'Brien.
And we ask people about their favorite teacher. Maybe you had the pleasure of knowing them.
This is my high school math and science teacher.
Local Connection will be right back.
I'm Bob Lenarduzzi. 1 in 3 Canadians know someone with Alzheimer's disease, the most common form of dementia. Dementia is not a normal part of aging. Family and friends are impacted and live with the reality of this disease, which to date has no cure. Don't drop the ball on your friends because no one should be alone on the dementia journey. Support the Alzheimer's Society of BC in their search for the causes and cure for dementia.
Welcome back to Local Connection. We're here in Stanley Park, and Amber, did you know that the beauty of Stanley Park has attracted many movies and TV series to be filmed here? For example, there's X-Files, there's Diary of a Wimpy Kid, there's Mr. Magoo, Stephen King's It was filmed here.
Vancouver's also played home to a number of very famous actors. Seth Rogen, Ryan Reynolds, Jason Priestley.
Jason Priestley. Anyway, another person to add to that list is Aliyah O'Brien, and our reporter Stephanie Florian sits with her and talks about her rise to stardom.
What's it like being a Vancouver actor on the brink of major Hollywood stardom? Today I'm going to sit down and have a chat with local celebrity Aliyah O'Brien on life, love, and playing a forensic pathologist who's also a lesbian on the hit TV series Rookie Blue.
Oh, no, I am. I need to get some samples. Who are you? The forensic pathologist. Oh, well, you should have told me that before. Sorry, I thought it was obvious. Only to nerds. Can you come back later? You're not up on your medical jurisprudence.
I'd like to start, Aliyah, at the beginning of your story because I think it's really inspiring, especially for all the Vancouverites who have the acting bug.
The bug.
Well, first of all, what's your connection to Vancouver?
Okay, so I grew up in Victoria, and kind of in the midst of my kinesiology personal training career, I took an acting class for fun, and I got the bug. I got bit, and basically started taking some classes, and decided at some point that if I really wanted to make it a go, I had to move to Vancouver and just dive right in. And that's what I did.
So
yeah.
It was late. You weren't a child.
No,
it was
oh my
late.
gosh. No, 7 years. I think I've been doing it for about 7 years professionally, like, you know, full throttle.
And what did your parents, were they encouraging?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm lucky. I've got those like very follow your dreams, do what you love, do what's in your heart kind of amazing parents.
Let's talk about your role as Holly, the forensic pathologist, lesbian on Rookie Blue. What was it like to attack that character and really sink your teeth into that role?
It felt very natural. I mean, it was an offer, so I didn't have to audition for it, which is kind of nice because I didn't actually get a character breakdown. Normally when you audition, you get the character description and then you kind of like model your version of the character off of that. Although I'm learning not to go by that so much anymore. But because I didn't have that, I kind of got to just bring whatever I wanted to the character. And that was really refreshing. And I don't know, I feel like the character doesn't feel too far off from me. She's maybe more mature, like has different strengths, but I don't know, it's easy. And Charlotte Sullivan, who plays my girlfriend, is the loveliest, sweetest person. The day one I came up and she was like, "Oh, you're Aaliyah! Welcome to our family. Please don't feel uncomfortable, like you're one of us." And it was just instant love.
How does playing a lesbian affect or, you know, influence your life and your relationships off camera?
Well, it's not like it's any different, except for the fact that I have this incredible fan following now that has, you know, a large quantity of them are lesbian followers. And I think in part because, or mostly because, they enjoy the relationship on TV and the way that same-sex relationships are being portrayed on television, because I think a lot of the times there's a lot of, you know, like, let's throw in a lesbian makeout scene to boost ratings.
Right.
And from the get-go, the writers of the show didn't want to do that with Rookie Blue, and Charlotte and I were very adamant about not having that kind of a relationship. And so, you know, it's TV, so it's not real, but it's more real than a lot of stuff that you see out there. And I think that people relate to that, and so yeah, I've garnered this amazing fan base from that, which I'm so thankful for.
So without giving us any spoilers, how does your relationship with Gail evolve in season 5?
Ooh, without spoilers, well, it does a bit of this, let's just say, and you'll have to tune in at 10 p.m. on Global.
Thanks, Stephanie. Okay, Amber, I've got 3 words for you, and you have to tell me what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Canadian, bacon, and whiskey.
Easy. My husband?
No, not your husband.
The perfect breakfast?
Oh, so close. Okay, so they're flavors of donuts, and Blanca Blandon is taking us on a tour of Cartems Donuterie.
I love that place.
So do I.
The history of the donut can be traced back centuries ago to the times of ancient Rome and Greece, and throughout hundreds of years it's evolved from a simple fried cake to hybrid creation like the cronut. One thing that hasn't changed, how much it's enjoyed by everyone, including Vancouverites. I'm at Cartems Donuterie to see why this joint has been named one of Vancouver's top donut spots. Cartems first opened their doors a few years ago. Since then, their talented team of pastry chefs have been creating one-of-a-kind, handmade donuts. Every day, dough is prepared fresh, and donuts are baked, fried, flipped, and coated to perfection.
I think our donut style is whimsical, sometimes a little fancy, but for the most part, fun.
Part of that fun lies in striving to use locally sourced ingredients.
That is definitely something we want to do from the start. We want to try to support as many local businesses as possible. We use a lot of small local farmers, go out into the valley to find as many fresh products as we possibly can, because we don't put any stabilizers, preservatives, or additives into our donuts. We want to ensure that the ingredients that we put in are as wholesome as possible as well.
Chef Braggs is now going to have me make an apple pie stuffy. Okay, so first step.
So we've got our plain Bismarck donut, and this is an apple pie filling that we've made. So I'm going to get you to do it. So there's a small incision that's been made right there.
Okay.
So you're gonna put it in about a third of the way.
Okay.
And then.
Should I hold it like that?
Exactly.
Okay. And just squeeze it in?
Yep.
Oh, there we go. Take a look at that. My first stuffed donut. Stuffy.
The next thing we're going to do is dip it into some maple glaze. So you're going to dip and then you're going to scoop.
Dip and scoop.
And then you're going to take your index finger
Okay.
out from the other hand and then wipe away the excess. Put on the drip tray. Sprinkle leisurely.
Okay.
Ready for serve.
Thank you. Look at that. So yummy. For customers who prefer savory over sweet, Cartems offers lunchtime alternatives like their vegan harissa pocket. Sous chef Nicole Harchet is an expert when it comes to preparing the ultimate vegan donut.
Okay, so we have an apricot chutney that first goes on the plate, and it's just roasted apricots with garlic and ginger, and we're just gonna lightly sweep it across the plate, and then add our salad, which is an orange lentil with dill, parsley, mint, carrots, and some red onion in there. So we'll just plate that guy and lift him up, dress him with a little bit of mint, and our harissa pockets. And then for the salad, we actually just have a zesty lemon kind of vinaigrette.
Wow, and now this, can you believe this is a donut? This doesn't look like a donut. If you take a close look at this, it actually looks like meat. This looks like real meat. Whether you end up getting the Canadian whiskey bacon or Mexican mole, you're guaranteed mouthfuls of goodness in every box. Well, I have my own box and I am so excited to try every single one of these flavors. For the full menu, make sure to check out cartems.com. You can also see their daily lunch special. For Local Connection, I'm Blanca Blandon.
Thanks, Blanca. I know where I'm biking to tomorrow morning.
Forget biking, I'm going to drive there. So lately there's been a lot of emphasis on BC teachers. So we asked the public who their favorite teacher was.
And this is what they had to say.
My favorite teacher was my high school math and science teacher because he was unapologetic. Like, he was getting close to retirement and people would complain about stuff and say that isn't fair, and he would just reply, well, life isn't fair. And the argument was over, which was great preparation for the real world.
My teacher of history, we learned the French history, Louis XIV, blah, blah, blah. And his name was Mr. Robro.
My literature teacher during my undergrad program, because I think I discovered literature with her.
Her.
What's her name?
Mary-Lynn.
And what does she teach you?
Math and spelling.
My mom.
Your mom? Why?
Well, she taught me everything I need to know.
It was my architecture teacher, Austin Kelly, because he was very encouraging and inspirational.
Mr. Swoboda in grade 7, because science, he was just a fantastic science teacher.
Well, that's it for this edition of Local Connection here at Stanley Park.
We welcome your feedback. If there's a show you'd like to see, message us on our Facebook page, follow us on Twitter, or check out past shows on our YouTube channel.
For Local Connection, I'm Sarah Hudson.
And I'm Amber Orchard. Thanks for watching.
Blanca Blandon takes
on a tour of Cartems Donuterie. I love that place. Yep. I love that Jamie fixed his hair.
I know.
Just in case.
Remember on 90210 at the beginning of 90210, he'd go da-na-na-na, da-na-na, Jason Priestley. I did. Okay, I will. Yeah. We've got it all. Fine dining, Brockton Point, hollow trees.
Oh yes, Prospect Point. We've got it all. We could go on.